Welcome to The Walk-In, a podcast where doors stay open and stories unfold one conversation at a time. Hosted by Christopher Michael Sean, author, poet, actor, and lifelong student of people and purpose. Here, you're more than just a listener. You're part of the room, part of the story. In every episode, someone sits down, breathes deep, and shares what drives them, what keeps them moving, and what keeps them dreaming. This is a space for dreamers, doers, and those still finding their way. So pull up a chair, pour something warm, and let's take a walk into the soul.
Usually when I'm here, I'm talking about the past. The heartbreak, the rebuilding, the lessons that life slammed into me. But today I want to talk about what's next. It's like Master Oogway once said, "Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift." And today, we're going to explore that mystery together. Because this next chapter, it's about the blank canvas we're all writing together. For me, that means three things. First of all, I dream of one day sitting across from someone who says, "Kris, your words helped me begin my story." Because that's what I want this podcast to be. Not just a place to share stories, but a place that creates them. Second, I want to keep walking towards a dream I've had since I was a kid. Sitting down across from Markiplier himself, not just as a fan, but as a fellow storyteller. And third, I want to keep walking, even when it's hard. To stay consistent, to stay genuine and real. Because I know this show means something to me, to my guests, and to the people who've been listening since day one. So today isn't about saying goodbye to the past and what came before. It's about carrying it with me and with you as we walk into the next chapter together. So let's talk. You know, walking forward isn't always some dramatic thing. It's not always a victory march. Sometimes it's quiet, one step after another on a cold morning when you'd rather just stay in bed. For me, it's faith that gets me up. Not just faith in God, though that's the foundation, but faith in the process. Faith that even when I don't see the full picture, every move, every word, every story, every act of kindness matters. Momentum doesn't always look like speed. Sometimes it's just choosing not to stop. Art, faith, life, they're all connected. When I'm creating, I feel close to something divine. It's like God hands me a blank canvas and says, "Here, fill it with the colors of your journey." That's what this podcast has become. Not just a project, but a reflection of the walk, the people I've met, the lessons I've learned, the moments I've broken down, rebuilt, and risen up. Walking forward means taking everything I've lived through, every heartbreak, every late night drive, every whispered prayer, and letting it fuel the next step. You see, I've come to love where I'm standing right now. The podcast has grown more than I could have imagined when I started it. You see, it's connected me with people, friends, strangers, fellow dreamers, each with their own story. Every guest I've had on the walk-in has left something behind in this room. A piece of their soul, a lesson, a spark. But my goal isn't fame. It isn't money. It's this connection. Dreamers talking about their goals, their visions, coming on nervous but leaving inspired. That's what I live for. That's what fuels me. Someday I'd love to sit across from someone who has an origin story where this podcast, my voice, or one of my guests became a part of their journey. Where they look over and say, "Kris, your words inspired me. Your words saved me." I think I'd cry. Because that would mean I helped someone write their own destiny. And maybe my story teaches that the dream is still possible, that we can grow like wildflowers through concrete, that sometimes it's not us that's broken, it's our environment. And when we change that, we bloom. There's something beautiful about hearing other people's stories. A friend of mine, Jackson, once told me there are thousands of people who will never feel heard, but that maybe my voice helps them feel seen. That stuck with me. That's why I'm on every platform I can be: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, because I want to open the doors for people all over the world, not just here in the States. I want to hand a microphone to people who've only ever been handed speakers, who've only ever been told to listen and stay quiet. I want to tell them, shout, be heard. And speaking of people who helped me find my voice, Markiplier. I remember watching him over a decade ago. Short hair, glasses, no beard, playing Amnesia, laughing with Tiny Box Tim, rocking that pink mustache as Wilford Wolfstache. He taught me that being creative and goofy doesn't make you less meaningful. He taught me that one voice, one heart, can reach millions. When he bought that theater around Cincinnati, I dreamed of acting in one of his projects someday. But more than that, I just want to talk with him. Not just as a fan, but as a fellow creator. Sure, he's heard a million thank yous, but my dream? To sit across from him and have the conversation. Because he got me through heartbreak, through loneliness, through that big move from Oklahoma to New York, where I had nothing but faith, my car, and $1,000. His words helped me hold on when I felt like letting go. And now, I want to return the favor to someone else out there listening. And to do that, I've got to stay consistent, focused, because I know how my brain works. I'm a creator. I've got a million ideas buzzing all the time, between writing, poetry, acting, Dungeons and Dragons, open mic nights, full-time work, trying to balance faith, peace, and relationships. Next year, I want to sit with you, the audience, the people in this seat right now. I want to celebrate the 100th episode with you, the 100th milestone, the 100th guest. And when that day comes, when I finally figured out how to balance audio and stop the music from drowning out my mic, yeah, I'm calling myself out, I want to be with you, saying, we made it. Not because of fame or money, but because we built this together. You see, success isn't a lucky climb into the spotlight. It's built by consistent, disciplined hammer blows against the nail of hard work. That's life. It's about balance. It's like my famous analogy goes. Life is like this huge, beautiful mountain range. We're all walking up our own mountains. We can look back and see those around us on their own mountain ranges. And we can help them climb as we climb as well. When I think about momentum, that word, that energy, I realize it's not about speed. It's about direction. It's about keeping your compass pointed towards what matters. Because on your mountain, there are peaks, summits, and valleys, none of which are more or less valuable than the other. Your valleys, the stagnant points, maybe they dip, maybe they turn, but they're just as beautiful and as important as your triumphant summits. For me, it's God, art, and purpose. Because art, when it's honest, is holy. And that's what the walk-in is. It's holy in its own way. A sanctuary for stories, for laughter, for healing. It's where I get to be real, to connect, to keep walking forward, with all of you walking beside me. You know, every time I finish an episode, I always sit back and think about what the space really means to me. The Walk-In isn't just a podcast. It's a place, a room, a sacred space where stories are free to breathe. Every story told here, every laugh, every pause, every tear, it lives in this room. And I like to imagine that when you listen, you're right here too, sitting across from me, cup of coffee in hand, sharing a piece of your own journey in the silence between words. Because that's what this is. This isn't a show for people, it's a show with people. Every story is a thread, every voice is a brushstroke, every episode, another leap forward on this walk we're all taking together. And maybe that's the secret. Maybe success isn't about reaching the end. Maybe it's about learning to love the middle, to find purpose in the pauses, to find peace in the process. I know life gets loud. The world tells you to move faster, climb higher, shout louder. But sometimes the real victory is in slowing down and listening. Listening to others, listening to God, and listening to that quiet voice inside of you that says, keep going. You're not done yet. So, if no one's told you this lately, I'm proud of you. You've made it through every hard day you thought would break you. You've kept walking even when you couldn't see the road ahead. And if you're listening right now, maybe that's proof that you're stronger than you think. Because walking forward doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it's just choosing to stand up, to breathe, to take that next small step. Because healing and growth, they're both paths that aren't linear. And that's what this space is for. It's for the dreamers, the fighters, the believers, for anyone who's ever felt unseen but kept going anyways. And that's what this space is for. It's for the dreamers, the fighters, the believers, for anyone who's ever felt unseen but kept going anyways. For anyone who's ever been told they can't, but whisper to themselves, watch me. So wherever you are, whether you're driving home, working late, or sitting in silence, thank you. Thank you for walking with me. Thank you for believing in this journey. And thank you for reminding me why I started it. Because the truth is, we're all just trying to find our way. One story at a time, one breath at a time, one step after another. And no matter how far this road goes, from the red dirt of Oklahoma to the concrete of New York, from heartbreak to healing, from faith to freedom, this walk will always be ours. This is the walk-in, where stories find their home, where voices find their strength. I'm still your new Yoki host, and together we'll keep walking forward.